On behalf of Indira Gandhi National Open University, we welcome you for this video lecture session. Today's topic is testing of hypothesis. This topic is from the course Quality Engineering and Management. This is the 15th module of the course. Topic is testing of hypothesis. In our earlier class, we have discussed about the arithmetic mean. We discussed about different kinds of means along with the standard deviations. So now we will discuss the topic that is testing of hypothesis. After listening to this video lecture, you will be able to understand the concept of testing of hypothesis. You will be able to describe the test of significance for large samples, and you will be able to use of this technique in quality control in industries, especially in manufacturing process. Let us begin our discussion for testing of hypothesis. Many a time we strongly believe some results to be true, but after taking a sample, we notice that data of one sample does not widely support the result. The difference is due to the original belief being wrong and the sample being slightly one-sided. Tests are therefore needed to distinguish between the two possibilities. These tests tell about the likely possibilities and reveal whether or not the difference can be due to chance elements. If the difference is not due to chance element, it is significant, and therefore these tests are called tests of significance. The whole procedure is known as testing of hypothesis, and today we are going to discuss in detail about testing of hypothesis. A hypothesis is a statement supposed to be true till it is proved false. It is just like our judiciary system. Any person is caught in any criminal case, we assume that that person is innocent unless it is proved that he is guilty. It may be based on previous experience or derived theoretically. First, a statistician forms a research hypothesis. Then he derives a statement which is opposite the research hypothesis, denoted as H0. We call it the null hypothesis. The approach here is to set up an assumption that there is no contradiction between the believed result and the sample result, and the difference can be ascribed solely to chance. Such a hypothesis is called a null hypothesis, H0. Just take an example. Suppose in the manufacturing process we are producing some products and there is a mean weight for particular product, there is a mean weight for a particular any item of the product, or there is a mean item for the products. But if you take a sample taking few products and measure the mean, and if there is a difference of mean, then we can say it is by chance these differences are coming out. But our null hypothesis says that there is no difference between the existing systems and the results which are coming out with sample analysis. But let us see what we can do if the difference is significant. For example, if the mean of the weight of 100 students in a college is 60 kg, then we want to test the null hypothesis that the entire population, all the college students, has a mean of 60 kg. This is written as H0 colon X bar is equal to 60. The statement in effect gives rise to following alternate hypothesis, that is H1 colon H bar is not equal to 60, H1 colon X bar is greater than or equal to 60, and H1 colon X bar is less than or equal to 60. Means if the mean of the weight is 60, it is the null hypothesis. But if it is not true, then the mean weight may be more than 60 or less than 60 or not equal to 60. So these are the possibilities for the alternative hypothesis. The next step is putting the null hypothesis to test. Depending on the result of test, there are two options. We do not reject the hypothesis, that is X bar is equal to 60, or we reject the hypothesis, we accept the alternative, that is H1. The statement is X bar is not equal to 60. So null hypothesis says that the mean of weight X bar is 60, and obviously if the null hypothesis is not true, then obviously the statement may be for the alternate hypothesis. We can say that X bar is not equal to 60, but we have to arrive with certain norms. Once the null hypothesis is set up, the next job is to set limits within which we expect the sample mean to lie. If the sample mean does not cross these limits, then the sample supports the null hypothesis. If it crosses the limit, the sample does not support the hypothesis and it is rejected. Suppose we want to test whether a given sample of size n has drawn from a population with mean mu. So mu is the mean of the population and n is the sample size. In other words, we want to test whether the difference between sample mean and population mean is significant or not. The following examples helps to illustrate the process of calculating the level of significance for mean. The average mark obtained by a large number of boys in a sampling test is 62 with a standard deviation of 10. The same test was given to a group of 400 boys who scored an average of 60. Is the difference significant? See, the null hypothesis says that the average marks for the boys is 62. But if you take some sample and get the average marks for that particular sample whose size is 400, you have collected the marks for 400 boys and calculated the average for that sample size and it comes out to be 60. But for the population standard deviation is 10 that is given. But now we have to see that is the difference significant? If it is not, difference is not significant, obviously we have to assume that the null hypothesis is correct. Now let us see how we can calculate for the different tests or there to see whether this is significant or not. See, test for significance of large samples. So if the sample size is large, say for example if the sample size is more than 30, so we can say it is a large sample. If it is below 30, we can say small samples. So let us see for the large samples how we can proceed. So calculate the test statistic, that is Z value, is equal to x bar minus mu whole divided by sigma by root n. But what is x bar? X bar is the mean of the sample and mu is the mean of the population. Sigma is the standard deviations for the population and n is the sample size. So mu is the population mean. In this example, the value of Z comes out to be 62 minus 60 whole divided by 10 under root 400. So this comes out to be 4. Now, dear learners, you see that what is x bar? X bar is the mean of the sample, that is 62 for this problem. What is mu? Mu is the mean of the population, that is given as 60. What is sigma? Sigma is the standard deviation for the population, that is equal to 10. What is n? N is the size of the sample. So here sample size is 400, so that's why it is known as the large sample. So you have to calculate the Z value that comes out to be 4. Now let us see how we can proceed further, whether this difference of mean is significant or not. Step 2. Now set the null hypothesis H0. Assume that sample has been drawn from the population with mean mu is equal to 62. This implies an alternate hypothesis, that is mu is not equal to 62. Step 3. Select the appropriate level of significance. Here alpha is equal to 0.05. So this is a very interesting case. What is the value of alpha meaning? What will be the meaning for the value of alpha? Select the appropriate level of significance. If you take alpha value is equal to 0.05. Now let us see how we can proceed further. Step 4. Obtain the critical value of statistic, that is ZA, corresponding to the confidence interval from table. Since alpha is given as 0.05, hence the confidence interval is 0.95. So if you consider the normal, when you consider the normal distribution, so the area under the normal distribution should be 95%, so that any value lies in that limit, it will be accepted. And the normal distributions, if you consider 95%, that means 2.5% at the upper level and 2.5% at the lower level, any value comes and in that 2.5% beyond upper limit or 2.5% less than the lower limit, that will not be acceptable. So in this way we have to proceed further. Now if you see the statistical table for alpha 0.05, the ZA value is 1.96. But you have got the value of Z for calculating for this particular value as 4, that is beyond the limit, so the null hypothesis will be rejected. So compare the computed value of test statistic Z with the critical value ZA at given level of significance. So here Z mod is less than ZA because the value of Z which you have calculated for this particular problem is 4 and the ZA value from the statistical table is equal to 1.96. We conclude that it is not significant. In other words, the difference is due to fluctuations of sampling and the sample data do not exhibit any sufficient evidence against the null hypothesis. So hence the null hypothesis is accepted. If Z mod is greater than ZA, we conclude that the difference is significant. For example, for our problem, which we have got the value of Z is 4, that is more than the critical value. In that case, let us see what will happen. So, but if Z value is less than ZA, in that case the null hypothesis is accepted, just we have discussed. Now, if Z mod is greater than ZA, we conclude that the difference is significant and hence the null hypothesis is rejected at level of significance. In this example, Z is equal to 4 is greater than ZA, that is 1.96. Hence, we reject the null hypothesis that sample has been drawn from the population. The test of significance can be carried for difference of means of two large samples. Let x1 bar be the mean of sample size n1 and a population with mean mu1 and variance s1 square. Similarly, x2 bar and x2 square are the mean and variance of sample size n2 from another population with mean u2. The null hypothesis to be tested is h0 is equal to mu1 and the null hypothesis to be tested is h0, that is mu1 is equal to mu2. Then the Z statistic is given by for this problem equal to Z equal to x1 bar minus x2 bar under root sigma 1 square divided by n1 plus sigma 2 square divided by n2, and here the s1 square and s2 square are known as s1 not equal to s2. Then Z is equal to x1 bar minus x2 bar divided by under root s1 square by n1 plus s2 square by n2, where s1 square and s2 square are sample variance. So in this case, just see what is the difference between sigma 1 and s1. Sigma 1 and sigma 2 are the standard deviations of the populations of two different populations, but S1 and S2 we are using for if the sigma 1 and sigma 2 are not known but S1 and S2 are known for the sample, then we can easily use of the second equation. Otherwise, we can use the first equation if sigma 1 and sigma 2 are known. When the sample size is small, that is less than 30, assuming the sample size is less than 30, we call it the sample size is small. Then the test of significance is based on student's t-test. Calculate the sample variance s square, calculate the t-test. So here t value is x bar minus mu whole divided by s divided by under root of n. So in this case, x bar is the mean of the sample, mu is the mean of the population. So step 3, obtain TA from a t-distribution table at a level of significance. Table 5.2 provides TA value for alpha is equal to 0.05 and alpha is equal to 0.1. Here degrees of freedom means the degree of freedom and is equal to n minus 1. Step 4. Compare the value of t with TA. If t mod is less than TA, the difference between the sample mean x bar and the population mean mu is not significant. If t mod is greater than TA, the difference is significant. For example, consider the breaking strength of steel rod is specified as 17.5 units. To test this, sample of 14 rods were tested and gave the following results. So these results are 15, 18, 16, 21, 19, 21, 17, 17, 15, 17, 20, 19, 17 and 18. We wish to know if the result of the experiment is significantly different from the specified value of 95% confidence level for the average breaking strength. Now, first of all, we have to calculate the sample mean. So, sample mean is x bar equal to summation of all the values divided by 14. That comes out to be 17.857. We have to calculate the standard deviation for the sample. That comes out to be 1.956. We have to calculate the value of t, that is x bar minus mu whole divided by s divided by under root n. So that comes out to be 0.6833. Since t bar is less than T05, hence the difference is not significant. Hence the breaking strength for sample of steel rod do not differ significantly from the specified average. The 95% confidence limits are x bar minus T alpha s divided by under root n minus 1, that is mu is greater than that and less than x bar plus T alpha s divided by under root n minus 1, or for this problem the mu is greater than 16.728 less than 18.986. Any value falls within this limit, we will consider it is acceptable within the confidence limit. For this particular case, for alpha is equal to 0.5 and the interval is 16.728 to 18.986. This is known as the confidence interval. This is the table given for, you can calculate the values of T or Z corresponding for your problem. So this is the significant value of TA of T distribution table. This table is for significant values of TA for T distribution. So we can collect the data for any problem for calculating, for finding out the value of T alpha. The test of significance of difference of mean of two small samples is carried out when it is necessary to ascertain that samples have been drawn from the populations with same means. Suppose we have two independent samples x1, x2, xn1 and y1, y2 till yn2 of sizes n1 and n2, which have been drawn from two populations with means mu1 and mu2 respectively. The population variance are equal and unknown. Step 1. State null hypothesis, that is x bar and y bar do not differ significantly. Step 2. Compute the statistic T, that is x bar minus y bar s with the under root of 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2, where s square is given as within bracket n1 minus 1 s1 square plus n2 minus 1 multiplied by s2 square whole divided by n1 plus n2 minus 2, and s1 square and s2 squares are sample variance. Degree of freedom will be equal to n1 plus n2 minus 2. Step 3. Compare the value T mod with TA. If T mod is less than TA, accept H naught at a level of significance. So, dear learners, we have discussed about the testing of hypothesis, and you have understood about how to calculate the value of Z or T so that we can find out whether the null hypothesis is accepted or not. We have discussed today the concept of testing of hypothesis. We have discussed the test of significance for large samples, and we have discussed using of this technique in quality control in industries. Thank you very much. Thank you.